Hi boys and girls, this is Mrs. G. Today we are going to read chapter 2 of Dr. Nicholas is Ridiculous. Let's see what kind of test they were taking. Chapter 2, A Piece of Cake. I turned over my test sheet and looked at the questions. There were 14 of them. The top line said we had to fill in the blanks. I grabbed my pencil. Number 1, who was the first president? Well, that was easy. I wrote down the answer, Abraham Lincoln. Next. Number 2, what is the 4th of July? Any dumbhead knows that. I figured it had to be a trick question, like, what color is the White House? I wrote down the answer, it's the 4th day in July. Hey, this test wasn't gonna be so hard after all. Question number 3, where was the Declaration of Independence signed? I had to think about that one for a minute. I've seen my mom and dad sign contracts and stuff at home. I wrote at the bottom. Number 4, can you name the 13 original colonies? That was simple. I wrote, yes, I can. Number 5, what are the 3 branches of our government? I wasn't sure about this one. Mr. Granite once told us about 3 somethings I remembered, so I wrote them down. The Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. Number 6, where does freedom of speech come from? Any dumbhead knows that one. I wrote, your mouth. Number 7, name one benefit of being a citizen of the United States. There's a lot of good things about our country, but there was only room for one answer, so I wrote, candy. Number 8, who did we fight in the Revolutionary War? I had no idea who we fought in the Revolutionary War. I looked around to see if I could copy the answer from somebody else. Little Miss Know-It-All was sitting in front of me and she knows everything. Psst, I whispered to Andrea. Who did we fight in the Revolutionary War? I'm not telling, Andrea whispered back. That would be cheating, Arlo. She calls me by my real name because she knows I don't like it. I leaned over to Ryan, who was sitting next to me. Psst, who did we fight in the Revolutionary War? The Galactic Empire, Ryan whispered to me. Ryan knows just about everything there is to know about Star Wars, so he had to be right. I wrote down the Galactic Empire. No talking, please, said Mr. Granite. Question number 9. Who becomes president of the United States if the president should die? Easy, I wrote Chuck Norris. Number 10. Who makes the laws in the United States? Again, I wrote Chuck Norris. I was almost finished with the test. Number 11, who said, give me liberty or give me death? I leaned over to Alexia, who was sitting on my other side. Psst, I whispered. Who said, give me liberty or give me death? Henry, Alexia whispered. Henry who? Patrick, Alexia whispered. Well, which one is it? I asked her. Henry or Patrick? Both, she whispered. No talking, please, said Mr. Granite. I wrote Henry and Patrick. Number 12. What are the duties of Congress? I giggled because duties sounds like duties, and we're not supposed to talk about that in school. but all I could think about was a bunch of politicians sitting on toilet bowls. I wasn't sure what to write, so I just put down number 2. Number 13, who invented the light bulb? I had no idea. Psst, I whispered to Michael, who was sitting behind me. Who invented the light bulb? Bob Lightbulb, he whispered back. Bob Lightbulb? I never heard of anybody named Bob Lightbulb. Michael may have been yanking my chain, but I know that a lot of stuff was named after people who invented it, like McDonald's, and the vacuum cleaner was named after President Hoover. Maybe Michael was right. I wrote Bob Lightbulb. Question number 14. Who helped the Pilgrims when they came to America? When the Pilgrims came to America, they probably had to chop down trees, build their own houses, and work on all kinds of do-it-yourself projects like that. So there could only be one answer. I wrote down Home Depot. Finally, the dumb test was finished. Andrea was done before anybody else, of course. She was sitting there all proud of herself. Mr. Granite came around and collected our papers. Now, that wasn't so bad, was it? He asked. It was a piece of cake, Andrea announced. Why is everybody always talking about cake? And why can't a truck full of cake fall from Andrea's head? On Andrea's head, fall on Andrea's head. And that, boys and girls, is chapter 2. You have these comprehension questions that you can answer with your learning coach. I hope you enjoyed chapter 2, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.